Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this week I'm also going to use my pants to make a crop top. So let's get started. Lay your pants flat and measure your preferred length of your top. So from the waistband, I'm marking 40 cm. It's always better to add extra length so you can always trim it off later. So next I'm going to mark 8 cm measurement right about in the middle. So this is going to be your strap. You can choose to have thinner straps, but I would prefer it 8 cm. So you can choose whatever you would like. And remember to always add seam allowance 1 cm. So next I'm going to draw a straight line right to the crotch from the shoulder. This is to create a V-neck. So you can always measure your middle length. If you prefer it lower, you can always cut in your V-neck lower. And next, I'm gonna draw the armhole right at the top of the pocket. Just a slight curve will do. And you can cut it out. So for the other side, I'm going to take the piece that I cut it out earlier, place it, and that's it, trace over for the other side, just like that. Flip it inside out, and I'm going to trim off the pockets. So here I realized I didn't cut it evenly, so I'm going to cut it out nice and even. So I'm going to pin the shoulders. And try it out. So there's a lot of excessive fabrics at the sides. So I'm going to just pin them. And I would also like to pull it higher. So this is what I said earlier, that you can always leave extra length and you can always trim it off later on. So I'm going to cut in about 4 cm maybe. So just pin it there and we can adjust it later. So I'm going to measure the excessive fabric that I pinned earlier. And I can draw a straight line right to the waistband. and cut it out. So you can see there's a extra pocket piece inside, so you can trim it off. And I'm going to adjust the shoulder. I'm going to cut about 3 cm. And don't forget 1 cm seam allowance. So then you can transfer the measurements to the other side. Just fold it. So next we are ready to stitch them. I'm going to pin it first. So I'm going to use a bias binding to do the finishing both for the armhole and the neckline. So starting with the neckline first, I'm going to start it with the inner side or the wrong side and stitch 0.5 cm all the way down. So next I'm going to fold it to the right side like this and stitch it on. This is why I started with the wrong side, because I would want the bias binding to be visible on the right side. You can also trim the excessive fabric on the inside, or just like I did, you can just push it in. As you stitch, you just keep pushing in all the excessive threads and fabrics. So for the armhole, I'm going to start with the right side, because for the neckline, I started on the wrong side because I would want the bias binding to be visible on the outside. But for the armhole, I do not want it to be visible, so I'm going to start it with the right side. So next, I'm gonna fold it into the wrong side and stitch it along. You can also use this method for the neckline if you would prefer not to show the bias binding, so it's totally up to you. So there's one step that I missed earlier. I supposed to overlock the sides before finishing it off with the bias binding, but I still managed to stitch it in, but not the shoulders though. You can always do a 0.1 top stitch if you also missed it just like me. And I'm gonna steam iron it before I try it out. Ta-da! It's ready! And that's it. Hope you liked the video. See you next week! Oh wait! If you're new to my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit on the bell button, and also leave me a comment down below. How do you like the video and also what you want to see next from me? Thank you!